FiveRoundMMA.
A different view to MMA.
Gotta watch that 5-round MMA,
Welcome
y'all.
everyone, this is 5-Round MMA. My name is Alex Ramirez, alongside my co-host Albert Cita. In studio co-host Albert Cita, and on the phone, East Coast correspondent, co-host Guillermo Cita. How's it going, Guillermo?
Good, man. I'm in Texas today, so...
You're in Texas?
Central correspondent.
Essential correspondent to the Texas time. Whereabouts in Texas?
I'm in Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Dallas-Fort Worth area.
I don't know Texas, so I have no idea. I'm assuming you're by Cowboy Stadium or Gillette Stadium, where it's called.
I passed by Cowboy Stadium, Albert. I knew you'd probably enjoy that. You're a big Cowboys fan.
Trust me, it's one of those guilty pleasures. I just can't get rid of it. I try my hardest to just fully indulge myself in the LA Rams, but a little bit of me still Dallas.
Not a Chargers? Did you give a Chargers a try?
Heck no, I'll never give the Chargers a try. I don't like that powder blue.
It's that Tony Romo syndrome that Albert has.
True.
He left a sour taste in my mouth.
Hey, before we jump into all things mixed martial arts, I just want to point out something real quick, Guillermo, and all the haters out there. I'm going to name off a bunch of accolades, and I want you to name me this man here. 5-time NBA champion, one-time NBA MVP, was it 2-time All-Star MVP, and Oscar winner. Eddie
Does that ring a bell?
Kobe Bryant. But
the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant.
Hey, guess what? Sure, Michael Jordan has 6 rings, but he don't got no
Oscars, bro. Come on now.
That's baloney because Space Jam should have been nominated for an Oscar. Best picture, best acting.
Come on, Oscar, are you for real? The GOAT.
Hey, but who was he up against in short animated film? There's nobody. Come on.
You can't blame him for what era he played in.
Read him that poem. Come on.
You can't blame him for what that was his era he was in. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you know what made everybody fall in love with basketball game when they saw that?
I just had to rub it in, Guillermo, because I know you just kind of in there. So let's get to all things mixed martial arts. Albert, go ahead and start the clock for me. So let's start round number 1. UFC 222 took place this past Saturday, and we're gonna skip to we're gonna go over the main event in the next round. But the co-main event was the biggest newsmaker of them all. Brian Ortega knocks out Frankie Edgar, the first man to ever put away Iron Frankie Edgar with a vicious uppercut. So Guillermo, just reaction real quick to the knockout of Frankie Edgar.
Well, first of all, I'm kind of shocked that it even occurred because I don't know. To me, it seemed too early in the fight because it really felt like they were testing each other out.
Yeah.
And it kind of came out of nowhere. But nonetheless, that was somewhat impressive. But, Frankie Edgar has been rocked in the past. I thought it was kind of early stoppage to begin with.
For Frankie Edgar fight, that was early stoppage.
Yeah, Albert made the point Albert made the point that night saying that, hey, well, maybe Frankie Edgar has proven in the past, but he can get rocked that bad and gets back up again. Maybe you get a little more lenient here, but
I felt it was a little too quick, but nonetheless, I'm okay with it in terms of the stoppage. But I still think after the fight, there's nothing about Brian Ortega. Like, this guy is so bland, so blah, no personality. Why is it that every headline is Frankie Edgar is stopped for the first time, but never does say the rise of Brian Ortega? Brian Ortega, this. It's not. It's Frankie Edgar. Why did you even risk it?
I have my notes here too that I put people are speaking of Frankie Edgar like he just died.
I know, almost like talking like, man,
his legacy will go on forever.
He was such a good man.
His legacy will go on forever. We'll never forget what this man accomplished. Like, he just died. So, your thoughts real quick. You said maybe it was a little bit, Frank, he deserves a little more leniency.
Yeah, for a Frankie Edgar fight, that was an early stoppage. I will say that. If it was any other fighter, I would have been like, that was a good stoppage. But because it's Frankie Edgar, I felt like somehow, some way, he could recover that.
Yeah.
But he was in a world of hurt. I'm not mad at the stoppage either. But I'm just saying, for a Frankie Edgar fight, that was early stoppage. And I don't care what Guillermo says about Brian Ortega. He says that because he doesn't follow him on social media. He doesn't YouTube him. He doesn't Google him. my boy Brian Ortega is the man. Guillermo, if anything, me and you can relate to him the most. We both grew up in a very tough neighborhood, and he didn't let the atmosphere, or, his environment affect who he is as a man. He didn't get into that cholo banging that me and Guillermo could have easily gotten into, but we didn't because we're like Brian Ortega, and we knew we had a more brighter future ahead of us.
I blame Guillermo's time in Florida for not relating to Brian Ortega. You got all the LA out of you, Guillermo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does, I'm here, like I told you guys in Dallas, man, I'm like frightened. I'm so used to Florida.
So, real quick, obviously, I mean, the future is down with Brian Ortega. There's nothing we can say that's not being said that hasn't been said already about this kid. Like, he's number one contender. Him and Max Holloway are going to, the future of the featherweight division. But I want to focus on what, as all things MMA, Conor McGregor. Because he had a tweet that set out.
I thought we were talking about the Burger King commercial that he just dropped.
That's pretty fire.
Because that thing's on fire.
That's pretty fire, too. But he said that, I'm just kind of paraphrasing him, said that deserved to happen against Frankie Edgar. Like, Frankie Edgar's career deserved that. Much respect. I guess it's another kind of shot at Frankie Edgar, a shot at Brian Ortega, and a shot at the UFC, because obviously Conor McGregor said he volunteered his services, to fight Frankie Edgar. So he was saying, like, it would have been the same outcome just with him in it. Guillermo, what do you make of that tweet? Just Conor McGregor, spitting some more fire there, or do you think he really wanted to face Frankie Edgar?
At this point, I just think he's talking too much.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, bro, I mean, if you really wanted Frankie Edgar, it was yours for the taking.
Well, he said the UFC said no, that they see no, we'll make enough money.
Come on, if it was so easy, he would have taken the easy paycheck, right? But no,
it's not about easy paychecks, Guillermo. It's about big paychecks. When you're talking Conor McGregor, you're talking about big paychecks, bro.
Yeah. Well, he said the UFC, well, we can't do that because we won't make enough money because it's too short notice.
See.
So
but the thing is, Alex, that fight doesn't warrant big money.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, it would have been a short notice. It would have still. It might have been elevated to the main event.
I'll tell you right now, I would have paid $60 if Conor McGregor was on the card.
Yeah, but would you have paid $100? Would commanded the Floyd Mayweather versus
and I
Conor
wouldn't
McGregor.
even ask anybody to pitch in.
Just BYOB?
I'm just just BYOB, but you don't have to pitch in.
The expectation is, right, Albert? Is that you order the pay-per-view whenever Conor McGregor's fight, and you get some Whoppers in there.
That's the new thing now. Next Conor McGregor fight, get some Whoppers.
I know for reals. Next Conor McGregor fight, I'm getting some spicy chicken sandwiches. Woo!
With chicken fries too.
Chicken fries too. Whatever he's selling, I'm buying.
And then the last point I wanted to make is, was it me or was Brian Ortega huge against Frankie Edgar?
I think Frankie Edgar's just that small.
In terms of size.
I was thinking about...
he made the 145 weight for the weigh-ins. But, man, on fight night, it looked like a monster versus Frankie Edgar.
Yeah.
I think that also played a factor into it.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, Frankie Edgar, it's amazing. That guy was a 155 champ, too. Pre-USADA, too, by the way.
Yeah. And just so you know that Frankie Edgar, if you watched Embedded, he was not even swaying the weight cut. And I don't think you even see him really weight cutting.
Yeah.
Just to show you, like, how comfortable he is in that weight class.
And that's his work ethic, too,
I think
probably,
technically he could be a bantamweight, so.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe to get TJ Dillashaw or your boy Cody Garbrandt.
Just keep on going down.
That's it for round number 1. We're going to come back and talk about the rest of UFC 222. Do not go anywhere. All right, welcome back. Time for round number 2. Let's go ahead and recap the rest of UFC 222. Cyborg kind of did as what many expected her to do. First round.
I didn't expect that.
TK, you didn't expect that?
No.
I saw you trying to be a contrarian.
On,
should be different. Guillermo, now they're saying that Amanda Nunes is next in line, even though the former Invicta champion Megan Anderson is still calling for herself on social media. But I think she kind of hurt herself when she pulled out of the proposed matchup against Cyborg mysteriously and never really gave an explanation why. See, but the UFC doesn't even mention her name anymore. Dana White doesn't even talk about her. So now, what's next for Cyborg? You think the Amanda Nunes fight?
Are you asking me first?
Yeah, I'm asking you first, Guillermo.
Okay, so there's a pay-per-view coming up. It's April 8th in New Orleans, and Cyborg's next matchup should be against Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania weekend.
And I'm dead serious, guys. I'm not even joking. I think Chris Cyborg is so good and women's MMA that she's ruining women's MMA in general. I think if she faces Amanda Nunes, it would destroy that weight class. Her weight class is already destroyed because there is no contenders in that weight class. I'd say you put her at WrestleMania, get her a paycheck, work out a deal where you trade Brock Lesnar back into the UFC, give Cyborg for WrestleMania against Ronda Rousey, and you save at least 2 weight classes to build stars and have Cyborg come back sometime in July, August, September, somewhere late in the, or even early fall, late summer, early fall, to at least build both divisions, because I'm scared, because if you have Amanda Nunes against Chris Cyborg and Chris Cyborg destroys her, what's next? I mean, both weight classes are in flux. So you have a lady that destroyed the champion, and so that championship in general is just discredited to me, in my point of view, because and then is she really going to defend it?
I just want to welcome everybody to Fantasy Booking with Guillermo Cita. Next week, we're gonna ask Guillermo how he would have booked the NWO angle.
Oh, I want to hear that. But can I start with Guillermo couldn't be 100% more wrong. I mean, the guy, I don't know where he must be. I don't know whether you're smelling that manure out there in Texas and it's getting to your brain, Guillermo. But that was ridiculous what I heard. Let me tell you some facts here. Her manager is Tito Ortiz, and she busted the good old-fashioned Tito Ortiz trick and got a champion that wasn't even in your weight class to fight you on short notice. Yeah. Guess why? Because you know that's a easier win, and it keeps the ball rolling. Tito Ortiz did this first in Bellator, came in, tried to pick a fight with someone that was way lower in weight class than he was. And, of course, being Cyborg's manager, he's hey, that formula worked for me in Bellator. Let me hook you up here in UFC. Keep the ball rolling. What people don't understand this, and this is the part that irritates me, she was not even in that weight class for crying out loud. And people kind of like just brush down under the rug. That has a big thing to do with it. Second thing, we learned 2 things so far in the last back-to-back fights with Cyborg. 2 major things. She can bleed, and you can take her down.
She bleeds.
And you can take her down. And in all honesty, that's a recipe for any girl out there that's it's a true 145er.
How long did it take for girls to realize against Ronda Rousey that?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. If you find a true 145, no bantamweights, no featherweights, Cyborg. I don't know. But I'm just saying.
You're making all these great points.
But you're making it seem like there's no one that can beat her. All you need is one that's a true 145er. Wrestle her. It's easy. Wrestle her, and clearly don't be afraid to strike because she bleeds.
Well, I think, that's the thing. Now people are getting a little frustrated. We don't know the 145ers out there unless you're a hardcore.
Because what we've seen is bantamweight.
In the UFC, I mean, Bellator has a 145 division. Invicta obviously a 145 division, but they're not being showcased because one, Invicta, they're all with Cyborg.
We're seeing bantamweight.
Bellator's trying to build it up, but when Cyborg here kind of just overshadowing everybody, like I said, it's going to take time. Like you said, the Ronda Rousey effect, where somebody will come up eventually, and Cyborg.
True 145.
Right now, there's nobody. So what's next? You asked the question. What's Cyborg's next fight, Albert? Who is that name?
Sadly, it's going to be Amanda Nunes, and she's a bantamweight.
Yeah.
I wish I was a little bit more informed in the women's featherweight, but like we've been saying, you can go to UFC.com. Try to look up the rankings. Albert, there's nobody on the rankings, that's the essential problem.
Yeah.
So you have nobody at
no, but I bet you if I knew a good 145er and I knew that she was a good wrestler, I would put some big money on her.
Well, shout out to our former guest friend of the show, Amber LeBrock from Bellator.
That's true. 145er. True that.
Yep. Okay, real quick too. We're real quick before we end this round part. We'll continue this conversation for UFC 222 in the next round. The OMalley kid. Am I still supposed to be impressed by this guy? I still don't know.
You better be impressed.
The next round, I want you guys to answer this for me. We're gonna come back and finish this conversation in round number 3. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. Time for round number 3. This conversation for UFC 222 is still going, actually, much to my surprise. OMalley gets a broken foot, wins. It's
a fracture.
Am I supposed to be impressed? I'm supposed to be entertained by this kid? I have no idea. Like, is he supposed to be a big deal to me? Like, it's kind of cool because I'm finding out the type of guys that Dana White likes. He likes them skinny. He likes them tattooed. He likes them that little Irish blood in them, right? Because this guy's supposed to be a star, I guess. I don't know.
Alex, I think you've been chilling with Guillermo, and both of you guys are on the same thing. And I guess I have to regulate at this FiveRoundMMA. Let me take this on real quick.
Give me this OMalley kid. Like, why should I be impressed by him?
First of all, the guy was switching stances like if it was nothing. I'm just saying it's a fact. He was going from southpaw to orthodox. so easily without any difficulty. And you can ask any MMA fighter from the amateur level to the pro level. That's a difficult thing to do. So that was one very impressive.
It's all difficult to me. So
and then the other thing is, man, we saw so much spinning stuff. I love spinning stuff. I mean, you can spin all day, and I'll watch it. And so for those two reasons alone, Alex, you should care.
I guess
that's pathetic.
The first time I saw him was at that fight night when they kept promoting him up.
Vicious knockout.
And like this guy's coming from Tuesday Night Contenders, and this is his first fight, and they kept hyping him up. This guy cuts a great promo, and I was like, I wasn't really impressed by his win or his promo afterwards. So I'm like, okay, who is this kid? And now he's here again on the pay per view saying all that stuff again. But I just don't buy it. Maybe I got more to see.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it either, Alex. I think he
we got two cells right now.
Yeah.
Well, no, the thing is, before he even fractured his foot, he couldn't finish off a guy that I can't even name that was on the UFC roster.
That's because it's a hard pronunciation, Guillermo. That's why.
And even then, he got lucky that he even won the decision after. I understand. I'll give him the credit for sticking it out with the fractured foot and fighting one-footed. But even regardless, before that, to me, it was like, why couldn't he finish him? Yeah. He had so many opportunities to finish him. And to me, that shows the lack of immaturity at this point in his career.
Even Rashad Evans said, like, why are you taking down a guy who has a broken foot? Let him stand up. The referee's not going to see he can't walk. He's going to stop the fight. Rashad Evans was like heated after if you guys saw the post fight. No, it was Rashad Evans too.
The
post fight.
Oh, I thought it was DC.
And the Fox team's like, why do you keep taking him down for? Let him stand up and let him.
And that's perfect. Had it been a smarter fighter, Alex, Sean O'Malley loses that fight easily.
Yeah.
I don't know about easily, but he'd been smart enough to let him stand up.
He was hurt. You have him stand up.
But I don't know about easily. Let's come down. Guys.
Real quick, Andre Arlovski gets another win over. He's still alive over Stefan Struve.
And I knew it. I knew that was going to happen.
Everyone's favorite crush, Mackenzie Dern, is victorious in her UFC debut.
But an unimpressive UFC debut. I think a lot of her hype has died down. I like to think I'm very close to the pulse since I have a bunch of haters that follow me.
Yeah.
And the first thing they told me was about Mackenzie and how disappointed they were.
Yeah, but I mean, now she's swimming in deep waters now, man. So we'll see how it goes. The cream oil is right at the top. Real quick, Guillermo, is Hector Lombard a dirty fighter?
Dude, he's known for shots after the bell. I mean, like, I'm not even surprised, dude. I'm surprised they finally disqualified him.
Albert, what do you think?
No, like, even when I saw it live, I was like, nah, dude, it was too close to call. You can't DQ him.
Yeah.
And then Alex posted up a video, or he sent us a video of other late rounds, like the Chad Mendes, Jose Aldo bout, and I think that was exactly almost.
The thing is, he has a history, Albert.
Precisely
he has a history
like
of doing this.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things. Like if you DQ him, you should DQ the other guys.
Yeah.
Well, but the thing is, if you're the referee and before the fight you're told, hey, this guy has a past history, make sure you keep an eye right when the bell rings, and boom, he does it again.
I mean, he's no Pajares. Come on,
yeah,
guys.
Jose Aldo's not known for that, Albert.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Fighters are
yes,
not
he
known
is.
for that.
I've seen it.
That's like my point. Like I was been at too about Husmar Pajares with the leg locks, right? Yeah. Remember keeping.
And John Bon Jones in DC too. That should have been like DQ too.
Eye pokes.
Well, it's the same thing with Yoel Romero. You don't think they check his body for any oils on his body to make sure he's not slippery?
They better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, UFC 222. A lot of interesting little quirky things happened.
It came out better than anticipated.
Yeah, obviously.
I said it might be the worst card ever.
Yeah, but the biggest obviously was Brian Ortega, and the little weird things happened, But overall, I think it's an okay card. I mean, I still wouldn't buy it.
Looking back, I still don't think it was a pay-per-view quality card.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't buy it.
Of course not. But
hey,
I thought it was all right.
I think they should really maybe like look back, maybe not do as many pay-per-views anymore. Just get those.
Just for the record, I would have paid $40 for this.
Yeah.
No way was I going to pay $60.
Yeah.
No way.
Would you have people pitch in?
Oh, for this one, you bet. You bet people pitching in.
Yeah.
That's it for round number 3. We're going to take a small break and come back and enter the championship rounds. But before I do that, I want to give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors: 5 Rounds Clothing Line, Dioxyme Workout Supplements, Girl Gang Wraps, Hand Wraps, and Clothing, Mobilitas Mobility Tools, our good friends over at the Dos Leprechauns podcast, and of course, FightBookMMA.com, your number one source for all things combat sports. They have a great selection of combat sports podcasts, latest latest news, interviews, fighter profiles, all at FivebookMMA.com. Follow them on all forms of social media and all of our sponsors. Thanks to them, we would not be part of this show. Keep it going for you every week. Again, all of our sponsors give a big shout out to all of you guys, and we're coming back for the championship rounds. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, round number 4. Let's enter the championship round. So this was gonna be a little, I guess, a breakup, a little bit of pro wrestling talk, a little bit of Bellator talk, which is kind of
that's my favorite.
Which is kind of going into the pro wrestling world, anyways.
If this was Jeopardy, I will go for 1,000. Is that the highest value?
Yeah,
that's what I will go for.
So Brock Lesnar, Dana White randomly posted him in a photo of Brock Lesnar just hanging out, and Brock Lesnar was wearing a UFC T-shirt. I think was it the day of a W pay-per-view or something like that?
Yeah, it was the day of No, it was a Raw. It was when they were in Vegas and Raw.
Yeah. And then
it was a no-show.
It was a no-show. Cutting a promo with the big dog. Roman Reigns cutting a promo saying, I'm here every day.
But for the record, Brock Lesnar said he already did his contract obligated appearances.
Yeah.
And anything else is extra. He didn't have to be there. He didn't have to be there.
So is it looking like he's going back, Guillermo?
Hell yeah, that's where the money's at, man. And I think the other thing too is I feel I think you pointed it out like a week ago or 2 weeks ago is that he feels like his career was a little cheated due to the disease that he had, and he did be marquant. Yes, he was under tainted stuff that he took. So I think he still has something in the tank to prove, even though I don't think it's going to get him any far because the heavyweight division with Ngannou, with Junior Dos Santos, with Stipe, with Kane even there. I think it's difficult for him to make a championship run. Yeah,
dude, who do you think? Who is he looking at? I mean, like, do you think he wants to get in there with Derek Lewis, the guy with the one shot, can maybe knock him out? He obviously, if he's Brock Lesnar smart, he doesn't want to go to Ngannou.
Have you seen Derek Lewis on the ground? Have you seen him on the ground?
Ngannou on the ground?
Exactly.
Well, the thing is, you want to build to a big pay-per-view fight where he's going to main event. That's the other thing too. So
okay, real quick. So to both you guys, Albert, you go first here. Do you think is he busting a GSP? Does he see like an opening there that we don't see? Like, okay, GSP was Michael Bisping. I can beat Michael Bisping. Let me come back at 185 and balance and get out of here. Is Brock Lesnar seeing something in like Stipe or in Ngannou or Derek Lewis where I have a legit run in this? Because why else would he come back?
100%.
This is a guy who doesn't like to get hit.
100%. I think that's exactly what he's thinking. I think he sees wrestling's very weak right now in the heavyweight division with Cain Velasquez out, and I really do think he thinks he can beat about 70% of that heavyweight roster, and I believe it. Yeah. 70% of the heavyweight roster can be beaten by Brock Lesnar's wrestling alone, right? And then at the same time, I think people forget too, Brock is known to get bored real quickly. And I think for someone being a high caliber athlete as he is, I mean, we've seen him play football and stuff like that. As long as there's $1 million check, doesn't matter if it's minimum. If it doesn't matter if it says WWE or UFC on it, he's going to do it. I'm pretty sure he's going to make millions of dollars on just one fight in the UFC rather than a whole year, whatever he makes it in WWE. Yeah. And the second time, and the other thing is, I think he legit, like Guillermo said, he legit feels cheated out. And it's weird when you're. So I think everyone plays him to be this huge warrior and whatever, and I think he feels like he's cheating himself that he didn't really show how much a warrior, even though he doesn't have to. I mean, I think every man fears Brock.
Former champion, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things, and it's not. To me, it's not crazy for him to come back, and it's not crazy to say he can beat 70% of the heavyweight roster.
I don't know, man. Hey, Guillermo, I mean, you ever rebuttal?
So you want me to continue the matchmatching?
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
yeah.
Well, here's the thing is...
Okay. Brock Lesnar comes back. Who's his first matchup?
Daniel Cormier.
That's horrible. Wow, Guillermo, I would buy you as a booker because you're trying to get rid of two of my good stars.
You just blew my mind, actually. There, go ahead.
Well, and here's the thing is, it made sense in my mind when you said the GSP.
You made absolutely no sense in my mind.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing is, why would you book Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier immediately when you know, hey, I'm talking to Brock Lesnar behind the scenes? Because remember, we're not there behind the scenes in the contract negotiations and when they projected all this. Hey, you know what? We're going to throw in Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic. If Daniel Cormier wins, that will set up, hopefully, a good July card for Brock Lesnar and Daniel Cormier for the heavyweight championship. I mean, like, dude, you would sell out every damn arena in the whole damn world with that matchup. The second thing is you have the potential of Brock Lesnar winning the championship, which sets up another damn title fight at heavyweight with someone else, which is whether it's a Kane, a Stipe, a Nagano, and you have another freaking blockbuster.
You couldn't be so much wrong. I just said to you, the reason Brock's coming back is because he thinks his wrestling can beat a lot of the heavyweights.
Are you an idiot?
You think Brock Lesnar's wrestling's gonna beat DC? DC was in the Olympics.
Dude, he's a freaking 265 pounds versus
Technique.
Oh my God, Albert, dude, he would run this guy.
No, DC is legit good wrestler, Guillermo.
I just saw
horrible booker. You're a horrible booker.
Man, destroy your boy, Elias. Just with Bruce strength. Come on, bro.
Man, remind me not to hire you as a booker when I start my promotion.
Well, here's the thing, Albert.
You're gonna ruin all my stars.
The crap out of Brock Lesnar.
Well, yeah,
Junior Dos Santos will knock out Brock Lesnar. Cain Velasquez knocked out Brock Lesnar.
I'm gonna tell Guillermo here, like, he comes back, who's he gonna fight?
Let me tell you, look, he can run that Mark Hunt fight again. Mark Hunt will take it, and we already know what's going to happen there. You can give him Stefan Struve. Andre Arlovsky's still hanging in there. Derek Lewis is a fish out of water.
Blades.
And then you got Blades.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect. That's a lot of people for Brock. Get Brock over him again for Crown. Give him over him again. I want to see that.
Post USADA over him.
Post USADA. Let's see how over him does post USADA.
Oh my God, Brock Lesnar can sell you an entire card just with one fight. Whoever he fights,
no, he can sell
put him against a Mark Hunt.
It could just be like dude. Brock Lesnar's gonna go and do one spear, and I'll pay.
We got one more round, and then we're out of here.
You don't got pitch in if you're watching Brock.
I want Whoppers.
One more round, fifth and final round coming up next. Welcome back, fifth and final round. So, John Jones, is he done?
Who?
John Jones.
The rapper?
No, the former lightweight champion of the world, John Jones. The California State Athletic Commission
I forgot about him.
Upheld the suspension, and now he is it 2 years? Or it was 2 years suspension, right? They upheld it?
I think so.
Yeah, and like a big old fine.
I stopped following that.
So now USADA is saying, and John Jones is saying, like, I don't know how I got in my system. I don't know. Then he started yelling at Miesha Tate for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, because Miesha Tate quit on John Jones, and apparently you don't quit on John Jones. John Jones quits on you.
You don't quit on John Jones.
That's what John Jones don't know. He quit on us first.
I have this down for a round, but I mean, we don't want to talk about it because Guillermo, what else can we say that hasn't been said already?
I don't think he's done. I really don't. I think there's going to be a comeback story to this, and then whether that goes
comeback story that nobody wants to watch,
Tiger Woods style.
And yeah, maybe
I'd rather see Tiger Woods come back than John Jones.
And I agree, but I still think, given his age and everything like that, and he can still compete. Or he's always been interested in competing at heavyweight, the heavyweight weight class. Yeah. I think that would be a great comeback for him to come back. I guess I used
the wrong. I'd rather see Vince Carter make a comeback than John Jones. Who? Vince Carter.
Do you know he's not retired, right?
Exactly.
You know he plays for the Sacramento Kings, right?
There you go.
I don't want to see Paul Pierce make a comeback.
Here's my point. Albert, you're off on your game today, dude, on your argument. John Jones has potential matchups at heavyweight that he was interested to begin with, and right now with the fluctuation of the heavyweight division is very top heavy.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully in those 2 years, you know, he'll get thrown into the mix. The thing is, he's still relatively young for that weight. How early he started mixed martial arts. So I think after 2 years, what would it be, like 33, 34 years old? I mean, you have 40-year-olds competing at the heavyweight division.
That's a great point.
So I think that opportunity is still there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to piggyback off of you, Guillermo. I think this isn't a career killer for him. I don't think so. Looking at it now, obviously, if he's gone for 2 or 3 years, that's what he's been in his early to mid 30s. He doesn't have to maybe say, you know what, I'm in my mid 30s. Why kill myself to cut to 205? I'm just going to get a run at heavyweight, like you said. We're in the era now where for Doom, former champion in his late 30s, almost 40 years old. You got guys like, you know, Mark Hunt, who's pushing 40s in the heavyweight division. Brock Lesnar, who's in his 40s, going to come back in the heavyweight division as well. So if anything, we could have 2 chapters here, Albert. We could have the John Jones, and then he comes back and suspension, the matured heavyweight dominant John Jones.
Nobody cares. By the time he comes back, no one's gonna care.
I smell.
No one's gonna care.
The game will pass him, bro.
The game will pass him
until he starts winning.
The game's gonna pass him. We're gonna get some real heavyweights soon.
The hearings, he already looks kind of chunky, so it seems like he's already making that weight.
Speaking of the game pass you buy, do you guys hear the rumors that Chuck Liddell's in the negotiations with Bellator to come back for a multi-fight deal?
Oh, that's horrible.
Also, big news too. I was big news or not, but John Fitch has had a Bellator deal as well. He's gonna fight Paul Daly in his debut, and also
that's
just
horrible too.
Fresh off the news too. Crow Cop versus Big Country Part 2 in Bellator.
Yeah,
as well.
That's horrible.
Oh
my god!
And then just to make it clear on the whole John Jones thing, he was revoked his license for a year. So after a year, he has to go back to the commission, plead his case, and see what's up. And I don't know. I don't think he's coming back any soon. I honestly believe that.
Yeah. Hey,
but you rather watch all these Bellator matchups of has-been.
This heavyweight tournament is probably the best thing that has happened in Bellator. I'm so excited to see Chael Sonnen against another heavyweight. I want someone to beat Matt. I'm watching just to see someone beat Matt Matrione already.
March Madness. Hey, real quick, before we get out, for those of you who don't follow Ken Velasquez on Instagram, you guys should, because he's dropping some heavy hints about maybe entering the pro wrestling world, being inspired by Ronda Rousey. He's called out Brock Lesnar twice already. He has his own wrestling gimmick already.
I love it. El
Toro has a mask already, so I think he's all like, it's a matter of time before I get in the WWE ring. Gamma, you think you see that in the future? All these guys transition from from MMA into professional wrestling? We were seeing like Matt Riddle do it.
I definitely see it. I mean, like, it's obviously a success for Ronda Rousey, but, I mean, I don't know if Cain Velasquez is that big of a name in the wrestling world or can be, but it's a potential. I mean, Alberto Del Rio made it happen, so I could see that, and I could see other guys coming in. I know Daniel Cormier was ringside as well when Ronda Rousey came out on the pay-per-view. I can see maybe a whole camp coming out. I mean, I'm surprised that other guys haven't tried it, like Uriah Faber, and the other guys that are kind of fit.
205 Live, some California kid blood. We get Josh Barnett, Matt Riddle, Bobby Lashley, obviously. Even Dave Bautista tried MMA. Stephen Bonner, I think, is training for wrestling now, obviously. So, I mean, it's there. If anything, it's there. The connection's there. Remember, any final words? No?
I just want to say real quick, man, thank God Guillermo del Toro finally won. And LAFC, baby, we started off good, 1-0.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, and YouTube. Visit FiveRoundMMA.com. It's social media, Instagram, Twitter, it's FIVE-RoundMMA. Like us on Facebook, all that good stuff. Guillermo, what do you got?
Albert, name one player from LAFC. Ooh, yeah.
Valera, whatever. Bar.
Carlos Vela, dude.